Hello everyone, this is Erin Morgan. I am with Insight Media and I am here today at Academy 25 in Boston. And I am here with Andrew Sedgwick. He is the CEO of SightGlass Vision. Andrew, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time to be here. Could you tell us a little bit about SightGlass Vision and what your role is with the company?
Yeah, so SightGlass Vision is a myopia management technology based in the US, but with most of our operations overseas. We utilize a technology called contrast management, which helps reduce the progression of myopia by lowering the level of contrast on the retina. And there's some research that shows that has a good effect in slow myopia, and some of the data we presented supports that.
Yes.
So we have operations in a number of countries around the world, and largely in China, where most of our business is, and we produce a myopia management spectacle lens.
Fantastic. Well, it certainly is a hot topic right now.
Yep.
In myopia management, and lots going on in this area. So SightGlass Vision released some pretty exciting data here for Academy and at Academy, and it revealed that over half of children wearing the DOT spectacle lenses from SightGlass Vision experienced no clinically meaningful myopia progression over the 18-month study.
Yeah. Can
you please share a little bit more about the study and its findings and what the significance is of that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the study is our China study. As I mentioned, we have a good business in China, but one of the key asks from practitioners there is, okay, how does this work on Chinese eyes, Asian eyes? And so we kicked off the China study actually nearly 2 years ago now, and we presented the 12-month data at 𝗷𝗂𝗶 actually earlier in the year, and we just presented the 18-month data here. It's five centers in China doing the study. They're top drawer, big clinical ophthalmological hospitals. It's very well structured. It's a IMI standard study using the same standards that we use for the critical US studies.
Right.
And the data looks very promising. We saw a 75% reduction in myopia progression over the first year. And then as we moved into the 18 months, we've seen that trend continue very nicely. And as you say, we got 57% of the children in that study really had no meaningful progression at all.
That's pretty exciting. I bet you were thrilled to see
that
data come out, the results from that. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So SightGlass Vision's DOT spectacle lens is available in many countries around the world. It is not yet available in the United States, where we are. So what would you say, kind of on the heels, right? We have just had the FDA approval of the Stellest lens from Essilor. Kind of what does the future hold for DOT's approval, the DOT spectacle lens approval from SightGlass Vision?
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing to say, it's great news that Essilor got the approval from the FDA. I think we've seen in pretty much every other significant myopia management around the world that spectacle lenses, once they're available, they really open up access, and parents just understand putting their child in a spectacle lens. So that's great news. It'll help open up the market. It'll help open up access, and it'll help a lot more kids get the treatment they need. So that's great. For SightGlass Vision and DOT, we achieved a breakthrough device designation with the FDA a year or so ago, just over a year ago.
Fantastic.
And we've been continuing to work with the FDA very closely on what our route to approval might be. So we have an awful lot of data, and it's just what's the right way to put that together for the conversation. So don't want to say too much in terms of timing and where we're at with that, but we're in process, and we'll continue working on it until we get an approval.
We will stay tuned for that exciting, hopefully exciting news soon. So could you please share a little bit more about the diffusion optics technology, the DOT, in the DOT spectacle lenses from SightGlass Vision? What is that technology?
Yeah, so the basic theory is that by reducing contrast on the retina, you can help control the cells in the retina that control the growth of the eye, and it's based on some research that was done by J. and Maureen Knights, two professors at the University of Washington in Seattle, and we've taken that, and through a good deal of research and development, have created a spectacle lens that has a lot of a large number of light scattering elements on the lens that just softly reduce the level of contrast, just very slightly.
Right.
Still maintains good vision. There's a clear aperture in the middle of the lens for focusing vision through if the child needs that, and it's a different mechanism of reducing contrast on the retina, which is shown to slow myopia progression.
Fantastic. That's exciting to know, and great to hear a little bit more about the specifics on how that works. So this is kind of a bigger question, for the profession of optometry. There's a lot going on right now, right? Stellus is approved. You have this lens kind of coming down the road, approved in many other countries. What, where are we at kind of with the readiness of the profession for this sea change, right? And what will it take to help practices get over into that new zone of many are already doing an excellent job with myopia management and treatments, but certainly there are still practices yet to adopt it.
Yeah, and I guess the first thing to say is hopefully we're pushing at an open door, because certainly you speak to most practitioners and all practitioners obviously want to do the best for their patients, and especially with children. And if you've got an opportunity when a child presents to you with myopia to not just correct that myopia but also help slow down its progression, I think that all practitioners are going to want to get involved in that and want to do it.
Definitely.
Obviously, other places in the world have a lot more experience of how to have those conversations, and it probably is largely a communication question as much as a medical clinical sort of question, because the technologies work. They're not terribly difficult to actually use. So it is around that communication with the parent and understanding how we do that, and understanding how to convince the parent that myopia management is the right thing for their child.
For sure.
I'm sure that'll come down to education, training, practice, and trying it out. And I saw one of the presentations yesterday where the presenter was talking about how she talks to patients, and essentially was saying, look, I found out what worked for me, and that's what I do. And I think a lot of practitioners will have to do that. They'll have to find, okay, how does this conversation work for me? How do I have that conversation? And they're used to doing it with other technologies. They've done it before, so it's a new opportunity, and I'm sure they'll do just fine.
No doubt. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here to share a little bit more today.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.